This has nothing to do with me in terms of law enforcement. We do it as a service to try and help mediate things. I have zero authority to be involved in a civil proceeding related to custody and divorce and all of that. Is it ex-wife, ex-girlfriend, former, neither?
We're in divorce right now.
Okay.
It's very difficult.
Okay.
Just here to pick up Emmy, our youngest, is her birthday today.
Okay.
For a few hours, and bring her back and go.
Okay. And she knows you're supposed to be here. Wouldn't be a surprise or anything?
Yeah, she just would not agree to it completely, so.
Okay. Let me make contact and see what she says. I mean, ultimately, if she says no, there's nothing we can do about it, but it'll be documented.
Okay.
What is her first name?
Jennifer.
Jennifer. Did you try and call her this morning?
I let her know that I was outside waiting for the police.
Did she respond at all or no?
No, but she has responded before.
Like last night?
Yeah, the past few days.
Okay. Police department.
Hi there. Good
Hi, ma'am. How are you?
Good,
Hi,
and
Carlos.
you?
Good. Good.
Hi.
Hi. Did you guys have an agreement for him to spend some time with your daughter or no?
We don't, and I have a court order for our time sharing, if you want to see that.
I don't need to see it.
Okay.
Okay. All right. If that's your decision, that's your decision. Okay. Have a good day.
I told him he can have both of them because it's her birthday, and
Right.
I don't want to separate the children.
Okay.
So if he wants her, which I'm happy to give, he has to also take the other one too. So he doesn't agree with taking both.
Okay. So
Yeah.
So it's.
That's the issue.
Hold on. Just relax. At the end of the day, police department does not get involved.
Yeah.
It's a civil issue. We come out and try and help mediate things. Ultimately, it's something that the two of you have to figure out and arrange. If that's the decision that you're making, which you're well within your right to do,
That's a court order.
but just hear me out. Hear me out. You're well within your right to do that. I heard it. I observed it. There's nothing else that I can do. I will never touch your child. I'll never force your child out of your hand. I can't do that because I don't have the power to do that. And it's not that scenario.
Both, but he's refusing. I don't want to separate the kids.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know why you won't take both.
There is no order regarding me.
Okay, so
custody exchange.
look, you just heard everything that I said. This has nothing to do with me in terms of law enforcement. We do it as a service to try and help mediate things. I have zero authority to be involved in a civil proceeding related to custody and divorce and all of that. I'm here as a measure to try and assist you. We made contact. She said that according to her, she wants the two girls to stay together. Now, ultimately, the ball is in your court to make a decision. If that's not something you want to do, then we're done here.
Because it's his birthday, I picked up the kids before.
Okay, you're not listening to me. You're not listening to me. We're all adults here. If that's, ma'am, hold on.
I'm sorry.
If that's not something that you want to do, you heard me tell both of you. I can't do anything as law enforcement. I can just be here as a mediator to assist it. Okay. You contacted us, we came, we said you were to pick up the one. I listened to you, and that's perfectly fine. I'm happy to try and make contact. She answered, we made contact. She's saying, as the parent, according to her, she wants them to stay together. That's her decision. At this point now, the decision is on you. If you want to have both of them for a period of time, great, she's willing to do that. If you don't and you're refusing to do that, then we're done here, and I'm not going to spend more time sitting in this doorway.
Yeah, but there is no order that says
It doesn't.
spend time with her.
It doesn't matter. Okay. If the roles were reversed, okay, I have zero authority to make a decision regarding to this because I am not the court system that's in charge of the civil litigation back and forth in terms of what's decided. And I have zero authority to touch your children or touch her or touch you.
Yes, but they are my kids.
Okay.
If I want to see my kid, you can't stop me from seeing my kid. And
So here, I can
there is
stop,
no
listen
order.
to me.
There
I can
is no
stop,
order that
stop,
says I cannot
stop,
see my kids.
Stop. I can prevent you from walking through this threshold.
That is actually my condo.
Because this is where she lives right now, okay?
Yeah, but that
She
is
has,
actually my
you're not
condo.
listening to me. She has an expectation of privacy where she lives right now, regardless. I'm not gonna go back and forth because you're being stubborn about what you're trying to decide. I was here to assist. I've told you the extent of what I can do, and I'm willing to be here and help, but I can't fix the relationship or the non-relationship or the divorce agreement and the children and the parenting. That's not my job, and I can't fix that, okay? I have very limited roles when it comes to civil procedures, which that's what this is. You see what I'm saying? I can't go back and forth between the two of you because that's not my job and I have no power and no authority. So, you, again, asked us to come out here and assist you. We did by making contact. According to you, you just want to take the one child whose birthday it is. That's fine. You have that right to make that decision. But as the parent, she has the right to say, no, I would like you to take both of them. And that's her decision. Now it goes back to you and saying that, okay, at this point I would rather not have both of them, just the one, so then they're not going to go with you. Or you decide, okay, I'll take both of them for a period of time and bring them back. That's where we're at.
Yeah, I can't take both because I already have plans for just the one.
Okay, have a great day, man. Thank you so much.
I can show you the court order.
I don't need to see it. It doesn't even apply. Yep. I'm sorry, there's just a limited amount that we can do. And even, look at me, even the court order, look, real quick, so I can explain this to you. Even the court order, okay, if there's one parent violating what the court says, either way, okay. 546, I'm 10-4, I'm sorry. You can cancel anybody coming. Even if there's a court order and someone is violating it, okay, and it's saying on the first Tuesday of this month, they're supposed to be with dad, and clear as day, it's the first Tuesday, and we're here, and she's saying, no, you can't have them, I still have zero power to do anything. What I would tell you is, here is the event number that records me coming out here. Here's the interaction that's recorded on the body-worn camera. Now you'll have to go to your attorney and file a hearing with the court to show that one parent is in violation of what the court said, and then the court has the authority to then change it or say, okay, you don't have any custody rights anymore, it's not 50-50 anymore, or whatever. The horrible thing of all of this is, and I understand what position you're in, okay, I just don't have any power, and we can't get in the middle as law enforcement because it's not criminal, and I can't lose my job by touching your child.
No,
you know what I mean? And the thing is, I understand in regards to the condo and whatever, you're not currently residing there. She is, while this gets figured out, and she has an expectation of privacy to go in there. And it wasn't a threat, it's just, I don't want to charge you with going into there when you don't have the right to be there. You know, my articulation of what's going on, to the best that I can, is to try and keep you and her out of making it a criminal thing, because it doesn't need to be that way. Because that's the worst thing that's going to happen, is if emotion gets too high and then people take certain actions and now it crosses that line, and then now my hands are tied because I'm observing a crime occurring when it doesn't even need to happen. You know, because ultimately everything that's going to happen between you and her and the kids has to go through the court system.
I get it.
You see, and I apologize for going back and forth and trying to reiterate the same thing. It's just, as frustrated as you are, it is frustrating for us, because ultimately we can't, I can't do anything. I have zero, when it comes to civil stuff, I have zero power. Zero. I just, and I apologize. It's just they don't give us that power or that control.
Yeah, it's just been going on for a long time.
How long? When did the initial divorce occur?
August 2024.
Okay, so almost 18 months. No, a year plus that. Yeah, almost 18 months. Mm-hmm. Are both? I didn't want to ask that because it's not. Are both children yours biologically?
Yeah.
Okay, so the two of you have two girls together, and you're going through the proceedings to try and figure it out. And right now, through the court, is it 50-50 or what is the current statement to the court?
Everything is still being decided. The court order that she's referring to is only that we're bird nesting in the condo, and I come every other weekend basically, and she leaves. That's what she's referring to. But there is no particular bird nesting. Is like the kids stay there, she leaves, I go into the condo and spend my custody time there with them, and then she comes back and I leave. That's what they call it. I don't know why they call it that.
But you're not currently residing.
I am every other weekend.
So she leaves for a weekend, and then you go in there.
It's super complicated. We had bought a house in Hillsborough Pines. Mm-hmm. It's under construction. It's not livable.
Okay.
I'm living in a trailer behind it, so it's not suitable for me to have the kids.
Correct. Okay, I understand that.
Come over
while the house gets renovated.
And I can't finish the house because of the divorce.
Because of the financial burden of the divorce and all of that, or?
Not really. Just kind of. I can't put money everywhere.
Okay, so let me in. So per the court, every other weekend, you stay in this condo, mm-hmm. and she leaves.
Yeah.
And now you, in theory, assume residency for a weekend. Like, do you have like a wardrobe in there with clothes in it? And
yeah, absolutely. It's my condo. It's all my furniture in there.
Okay, then look,
it's my premarital condo.
Then I apologize because I was under the impression, based on the way that it was that she resides there and you're residing somewhere else.
I've never not resided there for more than 30 days. So technically,
but
always
every 2 weeks you reside there for a weekend.
Mm-hmm.
That's to be honest, in 15 years of law enforcement, that is the oddest thing I've ever heard, because then now you're blurring the lines of residency and protection. You see what I'm saying? Because like ultimately, me to say that was to try and protect everybody, because our hands get tied pretty quickly when stuff is like black and white. Mm-hmm. In the example of, I know this is a different scenario, but if you had an apartment somewhere, she had an apartment somewhere, and you guys were living separate, going through the divorce, and kids went back and forth, if you will, there have been occasions where the other half is like, well, these are my kids, I'm going in there. And they go into the residency of somebody else, and it's a burglary at that point, and then we're like, well, you see what I'm saying?
I understand
this is, I don't, to be honest, I don't even know where the law would fall and apply on this, because according to what you're saying and what I can understand, every 2 weeks, so twice a month, you have the same residential
the same residence.
Yeah, I was gonna say same residential expectation in regard to that unit that she has, which is strange. Because, to be honest, and I'm not saying this is the scenario, it's set up to try and, with domestics, obviously, not, again, I'm not applying it to this, but with domestics, they can be very violent, right? Sometimes, potentially. And it's set up for there to be protections in terms of the expectation of privacy and have protection of where you live. Ultimately, it says, everyone is entitled to have an expectation of privacy and comfort and peace in their own home, right? You see what I'm saying? And that's regardless of who you are, everybody. But what I don't understand now is kind of the way the law is. If every 2 weeks is changing and you guys are rolling through residency, I don't know what it would be, because you have a key to get in there, obviously, right?
My finger key.
Yeah. And then, so if you just walked in there right now, because you every 2 weeks reside there, I don't know where that would, to be honest, I would have to call a state attorney and explain to them and ask them and say, according to your interpretation of the law in this, where does this fall? Because as a law enforcement officer of 15 years, I have never come across this, and I wouldn't know how to interpret it related to the law. And I'm just being, as transparent as I can with you. And again, like I said, I apologize, because initially I thought it was more of apartment and apartment, because this is
She won't get out.
This is, well, I mean,
she won't get out.
But did you guys, when you were together, ever live there together?
Yeah, we were living there together. And what she did was she started yelling and screaming at me and acting erratic in an effort to get me to leave. And then she's basically squatting there.
Okay. And the court order is saying that related to custody, every 2 weeks, one parent resides there Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
I'm there from Thursday until Sunday. Thursday night until Sunday.
Thursday, Friday,
Yeah.
Saturday, so 4 days out of the week.
She comes back and I leave.
Where the hell does she go?
She goes to her mom's or her sister's in Davie or Miramar.
And then, so I've seen other bizarre stuff where like people switch cars. So like, I guess because the car seats are in one car, when it's their time to have custody of the kids, the mom and dad switch cars. Super bizarre. Super bizarre, right?
That is bizarre. Why not just buy a couple more car seats?
I don't know. We come across all sorts of shit. You know what I mean? I've seen bizarre stuff. It's just, I would have no idea how to interpret this. And again, I wasn't trying to come off as an asshole or anything to you, and I hope you didn't take it that way.
You're doing your job.
It's just, and I'm not saying you, sometimes we do our best to assist, but then it's very clear of what the law allows us to do and doesn't allow us to do, and then it turns into this back and forth, and we're sitting there in the middle, and then we're sitting there for 45 minutes listening to them go back and forth. And in the reality, the only loser in the whole scenario is the kids, because the kids see mom and dad arguing, when the whole intention to separate them is so they don't see arguing, so it doesn't affect the kids. And so it's, if there was a pre-made arrangement for you to take you one kid because it's birthday and she agreed to it, and then we show up and she says no, that's on her, and that's shitty of her. But again, we can't get in the middle and say, no, here's what the phone says, or here's what the order says. Yeah, it ain't never gonna happen. Because in fairness, you're never gonna want someone that's a stranger, even fucking law enforcement, to touch your kid, because I don't have the right. The only time I would have the right to touch your kid is if one parent was beating the shit out of them and I grabbed the kid to protect it and take him away from that environment. Other than that, I have zero right to touch anybody's kid, unless it's a matter of, like I said, trying to protect them from something. But tell you what, do you want the event number that corresponds? Well, he doesn't have a catalytic converter. Do you want the event number that corresponds to you calling, making the request, and then tell the body worn camera?
Yes.
All right. There's an event ID. It's not necessarily a case number, because there's not a crime and there's not an investigation. But that same folder just documents the call for service that you made, that we responded, and then anything that's recorded on the body worn camera is connected to that. So if at any point you would need it for an argument,
become an expert in
court
requesting
proceeding.
that stuff.
So
I got a bunch of them already.
All right.
I appreciate it.
Yep.
Safe.
Thank you.
Take
Appreciate
easy.
it.
Thank you.